Hello. Most of you presumably knows who's the inventor of the telephone is. The first person that probably comes up to your mind is Alexander Graham Bell. Is he really the only inventor of the telephone? Well, yes, but actually no. Behind the invention of telephone, there were many people working using the many principles that many scientists have come up through the years. So you probably recognize this guy, the most famous one. His name is engraved in pop culture and media until now. And probably you don't know about this guy or this guy or this guy, but they are all important in the story of the telephone. Okay, my name is Benediktus Sidharta. Thank you for tuning in with me. I'm gonna briefly and simply explain the story of the telephone. I'm not gonna explain about the bureaucracy and the legality and the controversy around the patents and all the kind of things. I'm gonna take it simply and we go from here. Okay, so the principle of the telephone can be traced years and years ago because simply telephone is like vibrations or voices traveling through strings, and I believe that most people have tried to make their own DIY telephone using tin cans, and they stuck a piece of string, and at the other piece of the string they stuck it to another tin can and they can communicate with it. I personally never done this before. I thought that it's kinda silly, and if you're trying to talk to somebody like 5 or 6 meters away, like you don't need to use that thing. It's rather hilarious. Okay, the figures involved in the history of the telephone were Antonio Meucci. He was born in Italy and later developed the telephone in America. Johann Philipp Reis, which lived in Germany, and his telephones were tried out across the Europe. And then there is Eliza Gray and also Alexander Graham Bell. And in 1854 he started to develop the first telephone, which was not finished until 1871, where he filed for a caveat, and he cannot keep his caveat because he was fighting poverty, and soon his caveat was expired. A caveat is an announcement of a patent that will be made. It must be renewed annually every year, and there's a fee to it. So Antonio Meucci cannot afford it, so he loses the patent. In the United States, Eliza Gray and Alexander Graham Bell developed their own kind of telephones, and in Valentine's Day, 14th of February 1876, they both filed for a patent, but at the end, Bell's patent was the one that are recognized by the United States Patent and Trademarks. And the reason Bell's won because Eliza was late to submit his patent. He was the 33rd in the queue while Bell's was on the 5th queue. And after that there were many years of legal battles and lawsuits, and basically things were taken out to court, and it's not really a simple story. Some may say Bell's cheated by bribing the officer there to take a peek at the Gray's patent, but all of allegations will not be told in this video. So if you really want to know what really happens, the lawsuits and other legal things that happen between Eliza Gray and Alexander Graham Bell, you might check out another video. Alexander Graham Bell was not the only one that want to invent the telephone. Many people were trying to make a perfect usable commercial telephone, but at the end Graham Bell won, and his name is now recognized in many parts of the world. Many people know him as the inventor, although there were many inventors. There were several of them, and maybe it's just his luck, and he can do all of this experiment because then the telegraph company was making a big profit because telegraph was broadly used and one of the dominant methods of long distance communication. Bell's father-in-law saw that maybe they could fight off the big corporation, primarily the Western Union Telegraph, and at the time Bells also had an idea for another kind of telegraph. So with the funding done and Bells can now focus on the research, he finally made it and invents a telephone that now became the base of commercial telephones. Even though later the years the telephones is still invented and developed, and until now the telephone is now broadly used, but not in the same way as before. Like back then telephones was only used to communicate, while now we have smartphones that we can use to do other things. But we must be grateful because of the invention, the hard work that all of the inventors put in, so we can enjoy this kind of technology today. Okay, I think that's all for today. I'm gonna thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you guys stay healthy, stay safe, clean and sound. Peace. Mantap pancing, yes.